Finally, the nightmare is over. These were the words of Paul Pogba, a man which we have not heard of for quite a while now. Paul Pogba was given a 4-year ban for doping offences, and the idea that Paul Pogba would never play again on a football pitch was a very severe reality. A doping cheat is what he was accused of, and he was accused of taking supplements that were banned from the sport. Now, the news is now here that he is still banned from playing football, but for now a shortened time. Instead of 4 years, it has been reduced to 18 months, meaning that he is cleared to play football again in March 2025, which is only 5 months away. So comment down below your thoughts on Paul Pogba and the frankly nightmare, as he says, he's lived in the last couple of years. Like, subscribe, and Mozilla Designs for the best football prints, all made by myself, as you all know, of course. Use code POGBA for 15% off our items. And let's get into it. Now, currently, he is still at Juventus, as they were waiting to hear the final verdict on his appeal before they decide to go terminate his contract. This is something that you see quite often, and there's reasons of why when something which is quite serious that leads to the courts, clubs typically don't let go of a player until legally they are allowed to do so. This is due to the fact that if they are found to be innocent or they are cleared in any way, then they can't be punished back for unrightfully terminating the contract. This is why you saw the likes of Benjamin Mendy stay at City for the length of time that he did, because of this very reason, and he was indeed cleared in the end. Now, of course, the Mendy situation is very different to Paul Pogba, and we've got some explanation of why this may have happened. Now, it is important to highlight that the lawyer that he's obtained for this case is one of, or if not the best in the world at this industry. To highlight, his lawyer was Mike Morgan, who successfully represented Tyson Fury and Tour de France winner Chris Froome on also doping cases, and was successful in doing so. So what happened exactly? Well, he was given a 4-year ban for taking a banned substance called DHEA. Now, there's a full actual word for this, however, I'll put it on screen. There is no chance I am saying that. Now, this involved, of course, a court of arbitration of sport. I say this name quite often in my videos. You may have heard of it because when anything serious lawfully happens in football, it always leads to them. And they accepted an explanation that this banned substance wasn't obtained by being a drugs cheat, but apparently, as they accepted in good faith, Paul Pogba took a dietary supplement that, unknown to him, contained the banned substance in it. Now, again, for someone as rich as Paul Pogba to be getting dietary supplements that isn't absolutely clear of what's in them is potentially very naive, considering the funds that he does obviously have, that he wouldn't have the best resources. However, this is what has been accepted. And that is why technically he's not found completely cleared, as he is deemed himself guilty of a strict liability offence, meaning that he didn't take the necessary precautions in taking these supplements, so he has took ownership on that. Now, this may be the reason of why he deems himself guilty of a strict liability offence, is that he claimed this due to desperation. Because of his constant injury problems, he sought other ways to potentially deal with his problems. This led to a trip over to America at around November 2022. Due to him missing out on the World Cup during this time period, he was desperate to get any sort of answers to deal with his injuries. He sought a wellness clinic to find out the cause of all these injuries he's been having, and during this clinic they had many tests. Now, this involved him having a vitamin D deficiency, so he was prescribed tablets to resolve this deficiency, and in these tablets, they claim, had this banned substance. So that can clear up what has happened with Paul Pogba in terms of how he's been caught out to be banned for such a long length of time. And he's come out saying that he's rather often took a lot of supplements, that he's never really checked if they could potentially lead to him being banned. Now, Paul Pogba hasn't played a single match competitively for 17 months now. He joined Juventus back in 2022 from Manchester United on a deal that he was worth €500,000 a week, and he started one match due to injury problems all the time, a struggle to regain any sort of fitness and form because of those injury problems, and also the ban that began in September 2023. So now that we know this and he's been cleared, will he now play for Juventus? Probably not. The question was of course brought forward to the coach Thiago Motta, and he said the following: Paul Pogba has been a great player, but one who hasn't played for a long time. The highlight of has been a good player maybe highlight the fact that he's not really in his current plans. And it makes sense. He's not played for a long time, and that makes a big difference. And he's also got a lot of injury issues as well. And his wages may also be quite a lot for Juve to deal with. So it is very likely that his comeback will probably not be in Italy or at Juve. So let's address the clear elephant in the room here of where he will likely go. Do I need to say it? Let's just all at once say where we think Pogba will go, because we all know the same place. 3, 2, it's Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia makes complete sense in almost every sense of the world. He is a renowned figure, and the idea of him having his comeback to Saudi Arabia, there will be people that will want to tune in to see Paul Pogba back in the football pitch again. He's got the fanfare, he's got the status to him that can bring eyes onto that league, just like many other names that they brought in as well. And they've also got the money, unlike many other clubs that be willing to pay for Paul Pogba, as realistically no one's paying anywhere near the wage that he has anymore. Now, of course, there could be maybe the likes of Qatar, you know, that basically any Gulf state would probably take Pogba, but let's be real here, he's going to Saudi Arabia, and he's probably going to go to Al Hilal. And you know what, it is important to remember that there is still a human behind all of this, you know, behind being a footballer and a big name and a big star. You can imagine how you can get caught out doing things like this, especially in the desperation of just simply trying to play football. And he has come out with his struggles, of course, in the last few months and years. In a French newspaper called Le Figaro in 2022, he had a personal interview saying that he often felt depressed at the time at Manchester United. And he said the following, and I quote, "Of course, we earn a lot of money, and we don't really complain. But that does not prevent you from going through these moments in your life, like the whole world, which are more difficult than others. But we are not superheroes. We are only human beings." And it is also important to highlight a very serious issue he went through back in 2022 with his personal difficulties with his family, where he was subject of an alleged extortion plot that led to the arrest of 5 people, one of them being his own brother, Mateusz Pogba. Quote from Pogba, "Money changes people. It can break up a family. Sometimes I don't want to have money anymore. I just don't want to play anymore." Pogba has the type of personality that will always inspire a connection with them. And it's easy to understand for many people why they have a lot of support for Paul Pogba. And a lot of people come to his defense. And I think that is acceptable. I think he's someone which I think deserves support. And despite many accusations of him maybe being lazy in the foot pitch and maybe not putting his all, I think it is important to highlight the human side to it as well. Of course, one great example is recently with the Dele Alli situation, with, of course, him going through a very tough time over in Turkey in his times at Spurs, and with his interview that came out quite a while ago now, he's still working on himself at Everton, and maybe we'll see him back on the football pitch soon. From a personal perspective, I can never forget the impact and the hype that was given around Paul Pogba joining Manchester United. That entire Pogba, Zlatan, Jose Mourinho era at Man United was exciting even for someone that wasn't even a United fan, and his quality was absolutely immense. And it's just a shame that we never really saw that too consistently, and that's a shame. He was, of course, at attendance for Juve's recent game against Cagliari for the 1-1 draw, where he was highlighted to the fans and he was given a warm reception by the fans at Juventus, which is good to see. And of course, support from many in the footballing world as well. So I'm kind of happy to do this video because it means there's some sort of closure that we can maybe see him back on the pitch again. Would he be the same player? Probably not, but that's okay. So what is next? It's probably Saudi Arabia, and that's okay. At long last, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. So comment down below your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.